Hello and welcome back to my monthly video. Today we are taking a look at Steven Wilson's new album, The Harmony Codex. Now after the very polarizing The Future Bites a couple of years ago, and let's just be real, the very polarizing Porcupine Tree album too, last year with Closure and Continuation. Some people loved it. A lot of people like me just thought it was pretty average. With this new album now, we are going back to super long songs and a long album. It's over an hour long. We have 10 songs, and I would say 7 of those 10 songs are good. Our first track is Inclination, and I think this honestly is a pretty good representation of what you're about to hear during this album. You have a very synthesizer heavy, paired up with electronic drum beats and sudden cuts to different parts. There's not much to the song by itself, honestly. Like, I would never listen to the song on its own, but you know, as an opening track, it's decent. It's okay. And then that brings us to What Life Brings. And honestly, this is the most normal song on this entire thing. You know, you got decent verses, you got a good solo, just like a very standard, stereotypical track. And it's good. I do like this song a lot. And another big thing on this album is a lot of layered stuff. So there are a lot of instruments doing a lot of different things all the time. So I think that's this album's strong point. I mean, on songs that actually do it, like there's a couple songs that are pretty bare bones, but for the most part, most of these are very much like you have many different acoustics and keys and synths and all this other stuff going on at the same time. And this song is a very good representation of that. And then we move to our first single, which was Economies of Scale. And this one I think is very mixed, because on the one hand, I absolutely love the vocals and the piano and the acoustic guitars and everything. Those are all very nice. But the rhythm section, like the rap beat and like the computer sounds, whatever that is going on the entire song, I think are super distracting from those other sections. Because yeah, I really don't like the rhythm track in this song at all, but everything else going on is really good. So there's like half of it I really hate, half of it I really like, which honestly is almost how I feel about this entire album. I wouldn't say I don't like half of it, but when I said 7 out of 10 of these songs are good, this one like just barely makes its way to the good category. Otherwise, it could have been a 6 out of 10. And then we move on into, let's be real, the best song on this album with Impossible Tightrope. Are you shitting me? This entire thing is just one big ass jam track. It's like you got 6 solos on top of 6 solos. Like, man, this whole song is fucking awesome, man. It starts with that first chugging riff, and then you move on into a sax solo, and then you get to the piano break in the middle, and then it comes in another key solo. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a Chapman stick going on in this song. Like, the whole thing just absolutely beats ass. And from one really good song to another, we get to Rock Bottom next, and this is another fantastic song. Really like the vocals and the whole mood of this one. I don't know how to say her name. Nene, whatever her name is, carries the absolute hell out of this song. It really just reminds me of Pariah from To The Bone, but because that was really the only song I liked on that album. But this one is just another song, another good song on a pretty solid album. So yeah, definitely a great track. And then yeah, we go right into the third great track in a row with Beautiful Scarecrow. Like, especially towards the end of the song, I really like the bass line, or the Chapman stick, whatever. Woohoo, Nick Beggs, he's back. Also, you guys remember when everyone thought Nick Beggs was going to be in Porcupine Tree when the Heritage single dropped? Would have been too good to be true. But yeah, these 3 songs all back to back are just really, really good, man. Really do like this. I really do like this middle section of the album, but unfortunately, it goes a little downhill from here because now we move on into the not good songs, starting with the title track. Man, for being 10 minutes, literally nothing happens in this song. You get the same atmospheric thing going on the entire 10 minutes. And then you have some spoken word at the beginning and some spoken word at the end. So for like 6 straight minutes in the middle, you have absolutely nothing happening. Like, really, this could have been 5 minutes long and it would have had the same message. Title track is not good. And then we move on into Time Is Running Out, which is also not good because it's just more simple ass music that stays the same exact thing the entire time. And really what pushes this song into the bad category is whatever that deep shit is going on in this song, like the do do do, whatever that, I don't know what the hell is making that sound, but it's fucking bad. All right, not a good song, but nothing could compare you for the next song, which is by far the worst fucking song on this album, Actual Brutal Facts. Yeah, Steven, let me give you some actual brutal facts. Here, come here, listen. You cannot rap. Please never try to rap again. Oh my god, you guys know that one part in Roll the Bones by Rush where it's like that silly ass rap thing? Yeah, imagine that the entire goddamn song. That's what this is. I will happily never listen to this song again except at the end of the year, which is in like 2 months already, goodness gracious, when I do my end of the year recap. But after that, never again. Fuck this song. Major skip. And then we close with Staircase. And yeah, this is a pretty decent closer. And not just because of the fact that it follows the last 3 miserable experiences, but in of itself, as like I was mentioning earlier with the super layered how he presents this album. You know, you got like funky guitars, you got acoustics, you got Once More Time Chapman stick in this album on this track. It's just really solid. And yeah, a good ending to a mostly good album. And overall, honestly, the first time I heard this album, I was ready to tear into it. I was like, yeah, this is just another album in a long line of disappointments from Steven. Like, I was going to make a joke and Time Is Running Out, like, yeah, time is running out for this to be a good album. But then, that was the first time. And then, you know, I went back to, like, certain tracks. And I was like, you know what, maybe this is pretty good when you listen to it out of context. Because, like, going through it front to back was kind of miserable. But, yeah, other than those 3 songs, everything else ranges from pretty decent to just really good. So yeah, if you were one of those people who were majorly turned off from the last album because he had like super high vocals and cringy lyrics, I'm happy to say that is severely toned down on this one. Like, I think this one will appease the masses more than the last few. Because, man, even before Future Bites, it was To The Bone, which is another super meh album. Like, some people like it, but not that much. So, yeah, definitely an improvement over the last 2, even though I do kind of like the Future Bites, minus the shitty-ass, what's that fucking song? Eminent Sleaze, yeah. Actual Brutal Facts, like, it gets pretty much just as terrible, but like I do really like Personal Shopper and Follower, I think there's something else on that album, but we're not talking about the Future Bites. Point is, this one is significantly better than that one. Well, I think it'll be significantly better to a lot of people, especially if you were turned off by how different that one was. This is somewhat different, but it is more of a return to form. And I just think overall, there's a lot of much tighter pieces on this one. So let me know what you think of the Harmony Codex. And man, I was working on the Yes discography listen. We got up to Tales from Topographical Oceans. And then I remembered we have to listen to another band because, well, no spoilers, but we're about to go see a concert at the end of the month. And we're going to talk about who we're seeing later on. So that's who we're doing next. I don't even want to say, but here, I'll give you a hint. I know barely any of you, there's probably like maybe 2 of you watching this video that remember several years ago when I did this series 10 albums in 10 days. But there is a band I talked about in one of those 10 days that I have not done a video on. So I don't know. Go take a look at that and try to guess who it is. So until then, keep on time is running out for me to go up my staircase and see what life brings, bro. I don't know, whatever. I'm out of here.